Hi Astro friends, it's Melanie today already on the 8th of January, and I wish you still a happy not so new year, or also happy shifts into a few different energies here. You probably have noticed either emotionally, energetically, or also cognitively what's been shifting here astrologically lately. Venus on January 2nd entered Pisces, and she will be in Pisces for quite a while, for 2 phases, in fact, because she will go retrograde from Aries back to Pisces. A bit more about that later. Then on January 6th, 2 days ago, Mars retro re entered Cancer. Mars has been in Leo for the longest time since early November until January 6th here, and started to go retrograde on December 6th. So we had a very fiery Mars in Leo energy, especially over the holidays and before. Now that shifted as Mars entered Cancer and will go retro to this ultimate retro point also in Cancer on February 23rd. From that point on, go forward again and still be in Cancer until April 17th. Then the third shift happened this morning. That was Mercury coming out of Sag, where Mercury has been for quite a while as well, since early November, and gone retro the whole retro phase also in Sag from November 25th until December 15th. And so that was like more than 2 months of Mercury in Sag, and that shifted. Mercury is now in Capricorn, so that will be a shorter period because Mercury is now going faster and will be in Capricorn only until January 27th, when it goes into Aquarius, and a very Aquarian phase will start. But with these energies, right, with the faster moving planets going into water and earth signs, that really shifts quite a lot, right? Things become more subdued from the Pisces, a subliminal, sublime. So there's a lot of similar words here, right? More sublime from the Piscean perspective where Venus is, and more subdued from the Mercury in Capricorn way, from more like it's enthusiastic, or also very intentional, very heart focused, but also maybe a bit grandiose, right? So anything goes as Sagittarius. Sagittarius is a believer and is big into trust, for better or worse. And then Capricorn is much more realistic. So we have now the shift of Mercury since this morning. That's the most acute one, the most current one. Mercury going over the integrity point. So especially with the planet Mercury, it's a lot about walking your talk. It's about, yes, there's great intentions, there's great potential and opportunities with Sag, yet we have to make things real. And what is realistic? What is pragmatic? That these are questions of Mercury in grounded Capricorn. And and also take responsibility, be accountable. All of that is very Capricorn. And so a more serious note goes also into the world of communication and news, right? And we'll have also the inauguration on January 20th in that phase, while we also had now the intention to resign by Trudeau coming out on January 6th, the day when Mars entered Cancer, Mars retrograde, and also, then Mercury now still in the last 2 days of Sag, and now the consequences and the reality will sink in more as Mercury is in Capricorn, which is also his sun sign, early Capricorn. Anyway, and this full moon that we are approaching here in Cancer Capricorn is really interesting. And I'll show you the chart for it for starters here, which also shows a lot of these energies I've already pointed to. So you have here, hopefully you can see the whole chart here, in this image. You have the moon super close to Mars, and the sun in end of Cancer, and the sun end of Capricorn approaching Pluto. So Pluto is also strongly in the picture. In other words, this cusp is very strongly in the picture. And then you have even a wide T-square. You have a T-square, a pretty exact T-square, I should say, to Lilith. And you have a wider T-square to Chiron in Aries. And that forms all together a wide grand cardinal cross. So what's going on here with all these components? Cross is always tension, it's friction, is charge, is something really critical, especially with the cardinal signs, is on the plate, and we need to deal with it. And it's timely, says Capricorn, and it has to do with important needs, says Cancer, and it's got to be fair and just and balanced, says Libra. And with Aries, things are actually really acute also. And new beginnings are in order. So what's going on with the primary opposition of Cancer Capricorn? As I said, the moon here, end of Cancer, is super close to Mars. Not only that, but the moon will in fact occult Mars. So in other words, eclipse. If it was a sun, if it was the moon, with the sun, the moon would be exactly covering the sun disk. In this case, will also cover the moon disk on the day of the full moon. That is very special. And so there's also something symbolic about this. In other words, there is a masculine energy or also drives and desires from the Mars perspective that when it comes to Cancer, Mars is not so well positioned. So, and especially since it's now retrograde, what can come up with that? Some trouble in the house, basically also conflict in families and in countries, in this case, in Cancer countries, US and Canada. And what's with the needs of the people? That is the moon in its own sign of Cancer, right? Eclipsing, in this case, certain conflicts, but also certain masculine energy that we don't need anymore. And that could be, in a way, maybe immature, is a Cancer energy. It's kind of a, it's a boy energy rather than a masculine, mature Capricorn Mars. And so we also need to, for ourselves, discern in a way. Discernment comes in from end of Capricorn with Virgo undertone. Consciously discern what we invest our energies and our needs and our even Mars, right? Potential for conflict, in other words, also anger into. And then to say, hey, let's be adults here, says Capricorn. Let's come together in community, in collaboration, rather than having all these infights, so to say. And the sun and Pluto will align on January 21st, the second day of Aquarius. So that is on the horizon, that is building up. And all of this is about systems, is about also the evolution from a Pluto perspective, from the old regime, the old empires, to new systems, to new collaboration, to a new power, empowered humanity. So all of this is on the plate. And as I said, there's also a wide and already waning square with the T-square with Chiron in Aries, but Chiron still plays an important role since it just turned direct end of December. So there is also the aspect of healing through healing the conflict, healing through renewal, healing through new approaches and authenticity and all of that, right? So we see it in the political sphere. We probably also see it in our own sphere. It's about showing up for ourselves, as ourselves, starting fresh, and not being afraid of beginnings or of doing things for the first time. It's also Aries, setting a precedent. And yeah, so then we have Venus now already quite at the full moon time, already quite into Pisces, aligning with Saturn. That is also an important factor because Saturn rules Capricorn, where the sun is, right? And so Venus will actually meet Saturn shortly after the full moon on, oh, didn't put that here, but it's probably just 2 days later. Forgot to pencil it on the charts. Venus Saturn will happen on, where is it? On the 18th, actually on the Saturday afterwards. And because Venus is going a little slower at this point, she will go retro eventually from March 1st on. So Venus Saturn, Venus actually passing Saturn for the first time. For the first time, I'm saying, because Venus in retro will also pass Saturn in retro, go, behind Saturn, and then Venus in direct motion will again pass Saturn. So 3 times. This is just the first one. And so Venus first passing Saturn. This is also love, attraction. Venus is exalted in Pisces. This is all about oneness, connection, right? Going beyond all these obstacles and hindrances and blockages, especially fear, right? So when you are in a different vibration, that can transcend that fear, right? And we can see it for what it is, what held us back, and how we bought into these false appearances, false evidences appearing real. And yeah, so Venus comes out stronger after this Saturn hurdle. Then we have also, so again, in this full moon that's building up, there's a few conjunctions, there's a few planets and sun also in this case, and the moon, that align with other planets. So the last one would be Neptune and the North Node. They're looking already pretty close, and they're also on a cusp together on this emergence point from Pisces to Aries. What's going on here when they meet? When the North Node goes back into Pisces, in fact, and meets Neptune on the 30th of January. This is a strong pull and incentive also about letting go, dissolution, also let the disillusionment unravel. And again, the quality of vibration matters, and allow things to just fall away rather than the South Node will go into Virgo. Fretting over all these things and seeing all these problems and complications, that can take a lot of energy. Pisces says, let it go, let it be. And then also the Aries side, where Neptune will eventually go into end of March as well, is like, again, emerge in a complete new era and new cycle. And it's time to just come out of the Pisces age, in fact, right? What else is going on this week? Let me just look at my at my little cheat sheet here, while I always point you also to my blog articles, where you can see more details and things more systematically lined up, and much more information and ideas and impulses than I could possibly here offer in a 25-minute video. So you can find all that on my blog, linked below. And what else going on this week? We are now in mid-Capricorn, January 1st to 10th, which has a Taurus undertone. So this is all about building and affirming, in fact, with Capricorn, what we value. So our values play an important role, and what we enjoy, right? So that can also mean planning and organizing Capricorn, something that we really enjoy and value, right? And not and make that a priority, not neglect it, right? And then late Capricorn kicks in from January 11th on till the 19th, the last part of Capricorn with a Virgo undertone. As I said before, Virgo is a lot about discernment, is about, doing work that's in alignment. So it's all about alignment, being in alignment with the highest purpose. And so that might also come up with that full moon. And that can also save a lot of energy, right? So it has a lot to do also with not bothering with what's not really significant and important, right? And then we have now the, let me just see what else transit-wise is coming up. Yes, on January 12th. That's the last of the transits this week I want to talk about. Before the full moon, Mars retro in Cancer will also go into a water trine with Neptune in Pisces. Very watery, very much that would add an element of doing things in a really trusting our needs for rest, for relaxation, for kicking back and doing spa things, for example, being by the water, being infused by good energy, and doing something about ourselves to nurture ourselves, right? Then the moon this week. The moon is now in Taurus since yesterday afternoon. You probably also noticed the shift from Aries to Taurus. Now things are also more grounded, more solid, and again also nourishing, right? Slowing down, enjoying life on Earth with all our senses. Has to do with cooking, with nature, all these things that really ground us and give us joy. The moon will be in Taurus still until the tomorrow, Thursday, the 9th, the afternoon, 5:07 p.m., late afternoon. Then the moon goes into Gemini, and will be in Gemini all day Friday and Saturday also until the evening. So Gemini brings lightness to this otherwise heavier and more solid, and but also pragmatic and kind of a bit, as I said, has a really heavy energy with Capricorn. So the lightness can come in through, this communication, writing. So Gemini Capricorn can be an excellent energy for being committed to writing, and maybe also writing for the new year together with Jupiter. What is here the potential? What is it that you'd like to give more energy to, are grateful for, and would like to expand on? And the moon then will go into sensitive and caring and emotional Cancer from Saturday evening on, all day Sunday, and Monday, the full moon day. The moon will then still be in Cancer all day. Seems like a very long Cancer energy, huh? Well, Sunday and Monday, both days, and as I said, Saturday evening. Yeah, so that's the first full moon of the year in her own abode. I believe she's also called the wolf moon. So don't be a lone wolf. Be with your pack. Be with your tribe. Very much Cancerian. And at the same time, since Moon and Mars are together, also emotions can be heightened, and you don't want to unnecessarily go into conflict. But at the same time, with a square with Chiron Aries, be authentic, show your face, show yourself in your true authentic way, and that can be also a good catalyst. And that's it for a shortish video today. Of course, more on my blog and also on my newsletter that all of you receive who have signed up. They receive it for the new moon and for the full moon. wish you a good start into the week with all of this shifting energy. And we see each other as we do, or you see me on the next video. Thank you. Bye.